Hey guys, I think I'm on. Let's see. I don't know if it's on yet. There we go. Awesome. All right. Well, it is 11:11. That was good timing. And we're live today to talk a little bit about limiting beliefs and how important it is from my perspective to be grateful. I want you guys to remember that being grateful is expansive, that anything and everything that you place your attention on and that you think of dominantly expands. So if I were you, hey TM, aloha. Yeah, you made it at the start. You're number one, baby. If I were you, I would put all of your emphasis on being limitless and grateful, because that will expand that. And so I wanted to talk about limiting beliefs, being grateful, and just overall celebrating the little things, because when you celebrate the little things in an expansive way, this is how I built up my momentum. This is how I built up my muscle in manifesting everything that I want. I basically celebrated the little things, like when I first started my retail business and I had no reason to be successful and I had no, like literally zero money coming in. A lot of you guys, sometimes you make comments that you're in a pinch financially, and understandably, it can feel very scary. That comes down to security. And also potentially you want to make sure that you feel good enough and that you're worthy. But the way I manifested having more money was constantly living and thinking and feeling from the end as if I had that money now. But I didn't start out with, I would fantasize about having huge sums of money, but I also kind of understood, I could feel, like literally, I allowed my intuition, my internal guidance system, I kind of learned how to allow myself to show myself like my path. I allowed myself, I see your comment, but I have to stay on this point, but I will adjust that in a second. I allowed my internal guidance system to kind of, let's say this, when I first started the business, right? And I was making zero money, and now we're in the recession, and everybody was coming, with all of their worries and concerns that somehow I wasn't going to make it, or somehow I was going to lose everything that I just, literally built up, right? I shut that down completely. I didn't mess with it. I didn't F with it. It didn't matter. What mattered was what was planted, all of the seeds that were planted in my heart and in my core. Hey, Dia. And so when no money was coming in, if I back then tried to affirm for $10,000 today, I felt a lot of resistance. So I just naturally felt, okay, I need to scale this back just a little bit, because I also understood if I scaled that back, then, maybe if I can't stretch myself right now to even affirm for something that feels completely outlandish to me. But I knew if I can find that right point, that's more than what I have now, but less than my resistance, if I can get that little flow, get that little channel right in there, I knew that somehow it would release the resistance. And then it would kind of start to allow for money to start flowing in. And then I could take that, when that small amount of money was coming in, small in comparison to what appeared to be big, when that started coming in, then I could gain momentum with it. And I could feel into that more, lean into that more, and then affirm for that more. And that's exactly how I built up. That's how I built up my business. And through a ton of appreciation and gratitude for my customers, right? So my limiting beliefs may have been that at that time, I couldn't make a certain amount of money. So I would I always thought that I was gonna reach for the stars and be okay if I landed on the moon. And so I started, looking for, I don't know, I don't remember now what I was manifesting for, but in essence, if you were to break it down and just step back, like zoom out from this and look at the entire experience, I started out with literally nothing. And then the recession happened. And then all of this limiting beliefs and fears came up, but I persisted through, and I would just constantly think of whatever dollar amount that I wanted to bring in, and then the money would come in. And then I would be super grateful, for even if one customer, literally guys, if one customer came in, if I was in my store all day and I wasn't seeing what I was hoping for, what I was affirming for, what I was feeling from that end, if I didn't see that happening, it didn't matter. I didn't let it sway me. I trusted more, because I understood that what is happening right now is literally just a mirror of me. What's happening right now, and that's not in a narcissistic way, by the way. Hey, Peter. Hey, Raylight. That is meaning just saying that's just kind of how the mechanism works. Everything that we're experiencing is you are experiencing you. Your entire reality is there to show you through experiences with different people and on all different layers. Okay. So I would just be super grateful for, if it was one customer that came in, I would be super grateful to God. And God is not God is not outside of me. God is within me. I am, it's my number one priority. It's my number one relationship. And I don't see God as being separate. I don't see God as being an outside entity. I see God, I am in union with God. There was a time in my life where I saw God as outside of me. There's a time in my life where I believed in separation, but I don't believe in separation anymore. I believe that we are all one. And I believe that God is flowing through all of us. And that is when we are experiencing, support, that's God working through people. That's how God works, through people, through experiences, through events, through circumstances. How else would you manifest, right? Things don't just drop out of the ceiling of your home or the sky. Sorry, if you think that's a limiting belief, it's not. It's just kind of not. That's just not how things work. It doesn't mean you can't manifest something instantly. If you can step into that and shift into that belief, then you absolutely can. But sometimes we have to start out small, which is what inspired me to come on today, is that you can stretch yourself, and you should absolutely stretch yourself and expand your mind and you want to get to a point where you can accept everything that's in your heart. You want to get to a point where you can accept being financially abundant, being financially taken care of, being supported, being loved. So you have to look at what your self-worth and what your value is. And so one of the things that I wanted to say with this is that sometimes, I don't know where this came from exactly, but I'll get to your question, Peter. When you first start learning how to manifest, almost everybody wants to win the lottery. And there are plenty of people who have deliberately manifested winning the lottery. You can watch, I believe Timothy Schultz has a YouTube channel. You can watch him interview. He himself won, I don't know how many millions of dollars. And he always interviews people who talk about that they consciously, deliberately manifested winning the lottery. Sometimes people are under the impression, and I can see it through comments, that if whether it's winning the lottery, whether it's improving a relationship with someone that you love, that if you don't get the full-blown manifestation right away, that it's not truly manifesting. And that is such a big mistake, because everything that you're experiencing is your manifestation. And if you consciously, deliberately decide, I want to manifest, let's say you're like, I want to manifest $1,000. I want to manifest $10,000. I want to manifest $1 million. Remember, to you, you place value on those things, and you will only allow yourself to believe in where you are currently today. But when you choose to consciously make a decision to trust that every single thing is possible beyond the stars, it is possible for you. Did I say everything is impossible or possible? If I said impossible, I'm just going to correct that. Every single thing is possible for you if you can. If you feel it in your heart and it feels like a calling, then it's possible for you. And if you are not there yet, where you have, say that you're affirming for, sorry if you hear those noises in the background. If you're affirming for, I have notifications coming on. If you're affirming for $1,000, for example, and someone in your family gives you $100, $500, or $1,000, but you were thinking you wanted that 1,000 to come from, I don't know, let's say the lottery. You're too focused on the how. And if you're not grateful for financial support that family and friends may give to you, or let's say you get an unexpected refund from taxes, or let's say you get some sort of big break that you don't have to pay for something that you were expecting to pay for. It could be any number of things, all things that somehow you end up with more in terms of dollars is financial abundance. And the big mistake that people make is when they just pretty much, how can I put this delicately? When they poo-poo on, you know what I want to say, right? When they just they don't appreciate the little things, when they're constantly focused on, well, or even worse, if they watch somebody tell a success story, right? And then under the video, they're writing comments like, that's not manifestation. That's not real manifestation. Oh, you were just, this person just reached a goal. So what? Are you kidding me? That is manifesting. If somebody is celebrating that their aunt or uncle gave them $100 that they weren't expecting, that is manifesting. It's just that maybe currently their belief, we always will manifest. I know, me too, Lisa. Notifications, me too. I'm like, it's that ADD, ADHD, or whatever. We will always manifest however is the most natural to us. So if in terms of financial abundance, if we have a belief that financial abundance has to come through either our job or our parents or this and that, when we start to affirm for money, the money will probably start trickling in more so in the ways that are natural to us. Okay. So appreciate it, be grateful for it, be thankful for it, but also know that that's not the only way. Okay, so when you guys come on, if you haven't been on yet, just please say hello and tell me where you're from. So let me get to some of you guys. I literally only have, just so you know, I have a client coming up at noon EST, so it's just about 11:30. So I only have probably about 10 to 15 minutes for some questions and answers. Okay. So that's what I want to say. I hope that reached some of you guys. Always be grateful for, I don't care if you manifest $1, I don't care if you manifest $1,000, I don't care where it comes from. If you're looking to manifest more abundance, anything in love or anything in your life, be grateful, be appreciative of what is manifesting. What is manifesting is what you're experiencing. That is your manifestation. I wanted to talk a little bit about limiting beliefs when our manifestations start to come in through the 3D reality too. And when we start to get sucked into the 3D reality again, that's a thing that happens. I want to talk about that, but that's going to have to be for another live potentially. I do have a video that I just filmed along these lines that might come out later on today. But if you guys are on right now, please give the video a thumbs up because it helps YouTube share my channel. It helps my content get out there. It helps me grow. I really appreciate that a lot. You have no idea how much it means to me. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you're looking for coaching, obviously, the link will be in the description box below later, and I know that I can help you. So let's see now. Let me get to these. So Kava wrote, hello, Mama Kim, with a bunch of hearts. Love the topic of the day. You're radiating hope. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. All the love back to you, Kava. Thank you so much. And I will be your Mama Kim. I'm happy to do that. Dia wrote, hi, Kim. Hey, Dia. Ray Light, I said hi to you. Hello, Kim. Hope you have a good day. Was just thinking about you today. I was just thinking about you too, literally. Peter, hello, Kim from Palm Beach, Florida. Hello, Peter. Peter also asked a question. What is your take on astrology and tarot readings? Okay, yeah. I see everything as being feedback for us. So while I don't, this is how I see it. If you're experiencing hearing a tarot reader, like say you're watching YouTube videos on tarot and I'm sorry, I can hear my phone. Somebody's texting me, but I can't tell who it is. If you're hearing, like, let's say you're manifesting abundance, you're manifesting money, and then you watch a tarot reading, and in the tarot reading, the subject is money, and it tells you that, something like, it seems that you're really coming into your own. You're really starting to realize how valuable you are. You're really starting to, realize that you are worthy of making more money in your life or whatever. If that's the kind of reading that you see, then that is just, it's a reflection of where you are. That's all it is. Everything is feedback. So if you go and get something read by whatever, a psychic or whatever, I'm not into this stuff at all. So it's not in my wheelhouse, so to speak. I don't even like that term, but that's the first thing that came to me. Whatever you're watching or hearing is just for you to decide, yes, I want more of this. No, I don't. So if you have a tarot reading, like let's say, Peter, you go to somebody or you watch something and they say something that triggers you, you have a choice. You can say, oh, okay, this is just, triggers are the best things, guys. I know that they're hard, but triggers are literally the best things. I'm so grateful for any losses that I've had or anything in my reality that happens that seems to go against me. I'm so grateful for it because it always makes me stronger. My other half once said, you made losing everything, you made losing everything look easy. That's because of this, what I'm talking about. True manifestation is trusting, sky's the limit, trusting in yourself, having the confidence, having the love for yourself, and mastering your emotions. Especially, it's easy to master your emotions, Peter. This isn't for you, but I just went on a tangent here. It's really easy for all of us to master our emotions when everything is like, we're in our room meditating and we're like in the imaginal act and everything feels so good and we feel amazing and we feel all yummy inside. That's super easy, right? When you are in your 3D now and you experience something that goes exactly against whatever that was, that you were in that imaginal act, but now something in your 3D you're perceiving it as going against. You should be so, so, so grateful for that, because that is your time. That is your moment. That is your moment to say, okay, I see this, and this just isn't me anymore. This is not what I'm subscribing to. This is an old story. I'm writing the new chapter here. I'm turning this page. I'm done with this whole thing. I'm dropping it all. I'm forgetting about it. I'm done with it. That is what you do when your 3D shows you the opposite, because instead of falling for it and making an assumption and allowing your 3D circumstances to get the best of you, you get the best of them. You assign what you want. What meaning do you want to assign to whatever this experience is in your 3D? Oh, awesome. Awesome. This is great. This is just the purge. This is just me leveling up. This is just me getting stronger. So now I'm super excited. When I used to lose stuff in my business financially, like let's say there was something, I don't know, whatever. Let's say, I can't think of an example, but let's say, I got to a point where I was making easily $100,000 a month. So and that was, remember, years prior, zero a month, where I didn't even know if I could afford groceries, where I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor with 2 boxes as my nightstands. Okay. So if I can do this, anybody can do this. It's just a matter of trust. But then, so I leveled up and I expanded, and I never asked for more, by the way. I didn't affirm for more. I affirmed for exactly that. I affirmed for, I was good with 100,000 a month. I was good with that. And I was really good with what I wanted to make for my income. I know I'm going on a lot of tangents here, Peter, but I will get back to you. I'll bring it back. But this is just bringing up another thought that I just had, which is that when I did a video recently about, I've bought and sold a few different homes, and I like to do videos on these stories, and they're all at different segments, right? They're at different points in my evolving. So whatever, one of the videos I put up, somebody had commented, it was totally a respectful comment, so I didn't block them. She basically, or they basically wrote something like, why would you want to manifest a home and also manifest your bondage? Which at first I was like, ooh, what, like, why are we talking about bondage right now? And then I realized, and then she said, meaning like debt. I don't have, like, what I was affirming for was being approved for a mortgage for my dream home. I wasn't affirming for anything else. I wasn't affirming. That's what I was affirming for. I personally, there are plenty of, how can I put this? I don't know if you guys, like, I have worked with people who are master manifestors, who have millions of dollars, who've manifested millions of dollars, and they have debt. They have credit cards. They have homes that they have mortgages for. They have multiple homes, and all of their homes they have mortgages for. They don't all just own everything with cash. They have plenty of liquid. They have plenty of liquid assets, but some of them also use the bank's money. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to use the bank's money. It's a smart way to invest. And I know that, some of you guys have this belief, I think, that manifesting is all about just winning millions of dollars, but that's not what manifesting is. Manifesting is mastering yourself. It's being able to achieve anything that you basically can believe. That's what true mastery, from my perspective and how I teach with manifesting, is mastering your 3D circumstances, mastering yourself, mastering your emotions, becoming stronger, better, more powerful, like literally being able to have whatever it is that you consciously become aware that you want to bring into your life. That is what mastery is to me. Not, it's not all about, not everybody is trying to manifest the same thing. Not everybody has the same needs. I think a lot of times, like, even when it comes to relationships and manifesting, like if you want to manifest your other half back in your life, and sometimes people like are, they're under this thing that they need to show up this way, and they need to show me this, they need to show me that. But that's coming from where you are currently, and where you are currently, you're still the version of you that might be hurting, that might be still falling for your 3D. You haven't manifested you yet as being the powerful creator that you are. So for you, things need to be this certain way, but you should pull yourself out of that and just focus on your end of harmony and balance and love and stability with your person, that it's you and in your other half, that you guys are perfect for each other. You are literally perfectly fit, and you are complementary, even how you guys are opposites, but you're perfect. And why I'm getting on this topic, I don't know. Somebody must need to hear it right now. So let me just pull it back to Peter. So that's how I feel about tarot. And as far as astrology, I have to admit, my other half used to be into astrology a lot. And I have to admit that I do see how we are influenced by a lot of this stuff. I am not somebody who focuses heavily on it. I have fun with it. I don't really subscribe to anything outside of me. I allow everything, including anything that I hear in terms of astrology, specifically around, like, say, like Scorpio and Cancer, because that's like the mix that I love, right? So if I'm reading or hearing things about that, then I am going to look at all of that as being reflections of my belief system, of how do I believe about this? What do I believe about this connection, kind of thing. I don't allow anything, though, to sway me. The only thing that can sway me is God. That is the only thing that can sway me, is God. That's it. And in case you're coming on right now and you didn't hear me say earlier, I am in union with God. God is my number one most intimate relationship. And to me, there is no separation. God is flowing through me, and I see God flowing through everyone in my reality. For me, God is all of you guys. God is flowing through all of you. I see the God in all of you. I see the God in everybody that I meet. I trust in the God that is in everyone that comes into my reality. So that's how I kind of see things. That's how I have always manifested. It works very, very well for me. It's very powerful for me. I have 10 minutes left. So Peter, I hope that that helped. So in other words, very, very long answer for you because I did add on some other things, but anything that you can think of, it's all just reflecting you back to you. And that's it. So basically how I have done things in my past when I've been manifesting things is if I was to see something that had something related to tarot, I would just, if it's something that was seemingly going against what I wanted, I would just say, good, thank you. Thank you. I needed to see that. So what do I believe? What do I want? And if it was something that was like it was perfectly resonating with exactly something that I want, then I'm like, awesome, yay. And I would see it as like, all right, this is awesome. It's like birds before land. That's how I always use my 3D reality for me in my favor. And it always, always, always works. Okay. So I hope that helped. I hope that answered that question. The Lisa Eve show. Hey, Lisa has a show. Going to have to check you out. So, Lisa wrote, I asked God for a feather as a sign and they fell from the sky like heaven. It was so cool. Awesome. So I have a feather tattoo. This is awesome. Feather. Can you guys see this? I can't tell if you can see it because I'm not actually looking at me. Anyway, feather tattoo, symbolic of freedom. So I just gave you another sign, honey bunny. That is some birds of land for you. Okay. Prince Michael in Angela's vision. Oh, how adorable. Oh, wow. I am on the live. Yes, you are. Lisa wrote, everything is my manifestation. Got it. That's right. Everything is your reality is showing you. That's all. Showing you. So enjoy it and love it and love everything because there's no need to resist it. It's all just there for you to become. Basically, for me, this is how I manifest. You don't have to subscribe to this, but it's to become love. It's to become pure love. It's to become the purest, highest form of you that you can be and evolve. And then everything in your life, through all the people in your life, through all the relationships, through finances, through everything will just all come back at you with that same kind of love. For me, it's all about love, period. I have a new shirt coming in that just says pure love. That's it. I should see. Okay. Let me see. All right. So I'm going to see what other questions I have that I can get to. I only have 7 minutes to go. Yeah, so that's when Lisa wrote that she can't hear any notifications, tunnel vision. I don't know if you're referring to when I got distracted by notifications, but I do get distracted easily. So I just have to stay, and I'm just affirming that, but whatever, it's okay. Kava, how do you feel about affirmations in the future tense? It will happen eventually. It is going to happen. I am excited for it to happen. I think it's great. I manifested lots of things with my business doing that. I would say for me, I was obsessive. I get so obsessive with things. I get completely immersed and obsessive with things. And when I'm obsessive with things, I love it and I dwell in it. So whether it's when I have obsessed about the homes that I've got, whether it's obsessed about the Range Rover Evoque, which I have, obsessed about, you name it, even, I don't know, I could bring up a million examples, but I completely immerse myself in it. And it doesn't matter whether I say I'm going to have it or I have it now, as long as when you say I'm going to have it, you don't believe that by saying that you're keeping it in your future. Okay. Does that make sense? So totally fine. You can do both. It's not a big deal. You won't mess anything up. Technically, you can't mess anything up unless you give up on it. That's the only way. So I'm going to hit the arrow down button and I might go past a lot of you guys right now. I saw a lot of people are on. So bear with me because I'm going to go up now. Let's see. Oh man, lots of people on right now. Okay, Preet. Good morning, Kim. I am working on my self-concept. Definitely, I will succeed in the 3D. Yes, you will. Already start seeing the peace within. Thank you for your help. I will book a next session with you. Awesome. I look forward to seeing you again. You're doing wonderful. And yes, emotions, just in case you guys, just like when I was saying, when you manifest something small, when you like, you need to capitalize on everything. You need to see everything as a win because that builds up the momentum. That builds up your power. It empowers you to celebrate the little things and keep knowing that it's going to keep increasing. It's going to be excess. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. And when I would like experience things that were hard in the business, I literally would get to a point where, and I don't care if this sounds crazy, this is what I always did. And I still do this now. When something bad would happen or frustrating, I would literally make myself get excited because I'd be like, oh, this is awesome. Because if this is happening, I don't care. Like, let's say, just as an example, that I lost $10,000 with something related to business. I don't know, say something happened. I would literally I got myself trained. My mind was so primed in success that if I lost $10,000, I was like, oh, this means that I'm literally about to manifest like $30,000. I am, and the worse the 3D got, the more excited I would get because I would be like, oh, now this means something really, really amazing is about to happen because this is just making me stronger. This is just showing me my limiting belief. Like, and I would just say like, F you to my limiting beliefs. There's a song by Ludacris that I would listen to. I'm going to have to swear to say this, but it's such a good song. Like, if you're in a bad way, if you're frustrated and you're angry, and I always use music as a catalyst. I love music. It taps into my core. My favorite music is house music. Deep down, like that repetitive something rather really taps into me and I love it. And it's powerful for me. Also hip hop when it comes to money, or if I'm like overcoming limiting beliefs. So if you're ever like in a really bad way and frustrating, listen to like, especially when it comes to finances or whatever, listen to Ludacris Move Bitch, because, and when I put that on and I blare it and I imagine that I'm saying that to like all of my limiting beliefs, fears, worries, or doubts, or anyone that's opposing me. And it always works. It always shifts my energy and I feel so powerful and strong. So when I used to perceive losses, like something I would lose in my 3D, oh, $10,000 loss. This is exciting because I'm about to make $30,000. I'm about to get it all back and then some. And guess what? It always, always, always worked. But it's because of how I responded. I didn't react. This is the whole point. Stop reacting to your 3D reality and start learning how to respond to it. How do you respond to it? Use it. Use the 3D reality to just show you your limiting belief and say F you to your limiting belief. Your limiting belief is not you. Your limiting belief is of your fear. It's of your ego. It's not who you truly are. You're much more powerful than that. Okay. All right. Let's see. So the Lisa wrote all or nothing. Amen. Like back against the wall. I am all in. I am like one of those all or nothing, all in. That's it. Like go big or go home. And what's big for me might not be big for you. And what's big for me, like, you know, I'm just like not into trying to be something I'm not. You know, my values have changed a lot now to what they used to be when I used to, you know, do things with my retail business. Like I've changed completely. The things that are more important to me now are opposite almost of what used to be important to me. It, you know, for me, if it isn't love, it doesn't matter. Love for me is everything. Period. Okay. So Prince wrote, this is my first time on your live. Good. Well, welcome, Prince. TMV. Good morning, Kim from Canada. Good morning. I'm feeling a trip to Old Port, Montreal coming in my future. I don't know when, but I'm feeling it. Prince Michael wrote, you're from Atlanta. Awesome. Kava, gratitude all the way. That's right. Lisa. Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa on the inside. I'm in Germany. Nice. Okay, Kadar, hello from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I had somebody, I'm going to tell you this real quick, just found your channel a couple days ago, loving it, watched dozens of your videos. Awesome, thank you. Jules AF, Your name always makes me, I just laughed inside. Your name always gets me, Jules. I love it. I just want to laugh right now. You're from Iowa. Awesome. So just really quick you just made me think this was just a manifestation I had years ago. When I had my retail business, there was this period where I was thinking like, maybe I want to franchise it. And so I was focusing, this just shows you how also we can change our minds too. I was focusing heavily on the idea of opening, or not me opening, but franchising it, where, obviously with a franchise, I had the business in such a way that if somebody just had $100,000 and they would have to open, in major cities, and I had specifics around everything of how they needed to, the locations they would need to get in this and that. But anyway, for about 2 or 3 weeks, that's all my focus was that suddenly everybody wanted to basically invest and purchase the business, but as a franchisee, because I wasn't ready to give it up myself yet. And one of the first people who came in, this was the first time, at this point, I was probably already in the business for about 10 to 12 years, I'm guessing. I never had anybody come up and ask me if I franchised. I started focusing on it. And about 2 to 3 weeks later, the first person who came up to me, and there were probably about 4 or 5 people a month later asking if I would franchise, if I'd be willing to franchise. But the first people were from Ann Arbor, Michigan. And and they really were so serious about wanting to basically invest and become a franchisee of my business. And then what happened was, of course, I'm getting all this interest. So now everything that I was wanting was coming to fruition. But then I was like, no, I don't want to give it up. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And so I ended up basically changing my mind. I ended up getting attached too much. My ego, I made some mistakes after I manifested so much with my retail business. I lost sight a little bit towards the end of what really mattered to me. And I was so caught up in my ego, and I was so attached to things that, unfortunately, that happens sometime. I just you lose your way a little bit, but it's all good because I manifested everything that I wanted. So I am going to have to hang up. I'm going to have to end this very soon because I have a client coming up in like 10 minutes, but I just do want to see if there are any more questions. So let me just see. Sorry if I missed you here. Drew. Hi, Drew. Hi, Kim. Drew from Philly. So nice to see you live today. Hey, Drew. Good to see you too from Philly. Peter wrote, I'm looking for some coaching with you. Can you tell us about your coaching? In other words, do you have a certain way of coaching and showing clients how to manifest successfully? I listen to my clients very actively, and I feel into what they need. And then I tailor their inner work to kind of go with how I can see that they learn. What's beautiful is that from my perspective right now, the majority of my clients resonate with me. So my method and how I do my inner work resonates with them. So that's really good. But basically, I put all of my clients on a specific regimen and a very strong and strict mental diet. I also, I am very much into looking at the whole person. So if certain things come up around anxiety, then I will get into a lot of questions that are just looking at the whole person, like, what are you doing in terms of being active? What are you doing in terms of your rest, in terms of what you're eating and drinking? And some of you guys, well, that's limiting beliefs. That's, I'm sorry, but some of the most absolute powerful master manifestors, we're talking people who manifest like multiple homes, like millionaires, billionaires, and who have been open about saying how they manifest. They look at things like that. They look at their rest. They look at what they allow themselves to think of, what they allow themselves to listen to, what they eat, what they drink, who they hang out with, things like that. So I would much rather listen to somebody who is a powerful manifester than a YouTuber that clearly, when you really look, doesn't really look like they're manifesting much except maybe views. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, so that's how I work with my clients. And yeah, I would love to meet you. That would be awesome. So let's see. Most people, if you can, most people do get the best out of the packages, and we end up meeting. I have all sorts of different packages, but right now the most popular package, after the first few sessions, usually the first session should be like an hour. Sometimes a half hour is okay, as long as I'm able to get into what your inner work needs to be. Sometimes we have to follow up, right away, because I didn't have time maybe to get into what your inner work needs to be if you spent the whole half hour just talking about your old story. But the most popular package I have right now is $495 for 5 30-minute sessions, and we end up meeting weekly. Usually when people first come in, they usually get the 4 package of 4-hour sessions. Sometimes people will start with the 1 hour and 2 30-minute session packages. That one I believe is like, I think it's $395. So you get 1 60-minute, and then for the next 2 weeks after that, 30 minutes and then 30 minutes. And then people usually end up wanting the weekly support because they're seeing results. Also, the big thing is when you first start out with coaching, you have to understand that you're starting out with this as this version of you. And after 2-3 weeks or a month or so, you're going to start shifting. You're going to start shifting who you are. So you're literally going to be a different version of you. And so then we might either just persist where we are, or we might add on to whatever it is that you're manifesting. Okay. So Peter wrote, thank you so much for your answer. You're the best. Much love back to you. Keva, ooh, this makes me really curious about your zodiac sign. My person is a Scorpio. My other half is a Scorpio too. I am Cancer. I am Cancer with a Sagittarius rising, and my Venus is in Gemini, whatever that means. I think it's good. What is the red bracelet for, Kim? Please share. Oh, this is huge. Like, this is the most important jewelry, if you want to call it jewelry, I have. I never ever take it off. I have charged this up with so much meaning. It's a lot to go into right now. I'll have to say it another time. But in essence, basically, when I look at it, it's just a reminder of everything that I teach. It's to not take the 3D so seriously. It's to remember that, like everything in a nutshell, that all of this is very real, that I trust in myself as creating my reality, that God is literally always providing and handling everything for me, that I can literally create and manifest anything at all that I desire in my life, because what I desire is what God wants for me. It's charged up with all of that. It never comes off of me. And I literally have a couple that I've made my clients that I have to send to them, but I have a spool of red hemp string that if this breaks, I just make another one. I will wear this to the day I pass away. I will wear this. So that's what it is for. Lady R. Hi, Kim from South Africa. Hey, Lady R. I was going to tell your success story, and now it's too late. I have to go, but I love you guys so much. I'm sorry I have to cut it short today. I love you. And if you're looking for coaching, you know where to find me. Let's see. Again, thumbs up to the video. I will talk to you guys.